Hello, everybody. So today I wanted to talk about something that a coworker told me, and I thought it was simple, and I thought it was useful, and I thought it could come in handy for observation and deduction. Now, if we really think about it, observation and deduction are obviously two different sides of two different coins. You can observe without deducing anything, and you can deduce without technically observing anything. An example of observation without deduction would be like counting a set of stairs. There are 10 stairs in the staircase. There's no conclusion to be drawn from that other than there are 10 stairs in the staircase. It's a fact in and of itself, but at the current moment, it's purely just an observation. Now, a deduction without an observation feels like it could be something along the lines of you hear someone coming up the stairs and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you say, I can deduce there are 5 stairs on this staircase from the footsteps I've heard. But that is still an observation. That would be an example of observation and deduction. An example of a deduction with no observation feels like it would be tantamount to making a guess. But it could also be previous experience based. For example, if you know that the average staircase has this many steps, let us say that you are aware that each step has a certain rise and a certain run, and you are aware that this staircase has a certain overall rise and a certain overall run. You could then deduce that there are X amount of stairs in the staircase. You might be wrong. They might have made this each step a little shorter or a little narrower, so there are more steps in the staircase than average, and so your deduction is incorrect, either plus or minus 1 or 2 stairs. But you, for some reason, you have the information about the rise and run of the staircase, so you can deduce on average it should be this many steps, but at no point have you observed this staircase in and of itself. Now, what my friend at work said was that he walks around and he keeps track of everything he sees. He looks at something, okay, this is here, this is there, this is there, and he just kind of keeps it in the back of his mind for if someone ends up in the future looking for something, he will say, oh, the last place I saw it was here, the last place I saw it was there. And it's really good for working on a job site. If you're walking around and you see a hammer laying somewhere, maybe you're like, someone might have put that hammer there on purpose, so I'm not going to touch the hammer. But if in the near future someone is like, hey, have you seen my hammer? It looks like this, I can't seem to find it. He can be like, oh, I saw a hammer over there a little while ago. And so it's sort of useful. It's observation, and there's no deduction involved. Now, I'm sure he probably does deduce things from his observations, but ultimately, all he's doing is keeping track of things around the shop. He files it in his head. What he said was that it was trained into him. Now, mind you, this is someone with no formal higher education per se. He has 2 different trades tickets and he's worked in trades his whole life. Very intelligent man, but no university degree. But over the years, what he's realized is that by keeping track of things around the yard and around the shop, he sort of accrues this minor value because he remembers where things are. And so, if you want to know where something is, you can go and ask him. Keeping track of things, remembering, okay, this was the last place we put it. This was the last place I saw it. And so if it's not there, someone has moved it since I saw it because I remember seeing it there. Whereas a lot of people, myself included, will simply look at something and not take note of it, right? Let's say I'd never been here before and I wanted to get to know the kitchen of the new place. And so I open a cupboard, and instead of just opening the cupboard and looking in there and saying, okay, this is where I get a cup, and then you close the cupboard and you forget. I open the cupboard and I say, okay, this is the cupboard. It's the second cupboard from the end and it's full of all the cups. And so now I have a little storage of a map of the new place. And if someone new comes in, for some reason I'm in this new place on my own, I can say, oh yeah, the cups are in the second cupboard from the left there. And so it's just that little piece of intentional observation. It doesn't require necessarily a whole lot of innate intelligence. What it requires is basically not thinking about it too hard. He said to himself at some point, yeah, I could do that. And so he does it. He walks around, and while he walks around, he keeps his eyes out. Okay, this thing's over here. Those things are over there. What's going on with that thing? I saw that yesterday. Oh, there was something over there. Now it's gone. Where did it go? And maybe he's good at deducing, or maybe he's not, but it's not really the point. This is specifically observation for the sake of remembering where things are. That's for no other reason. So anyways, that was the advice from my friend at work earlier. It wasn't really even advice. It was just something he kind of said offhand, and then I took it as advice because I sort of do that. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.